Amnesiac girl travels to a beast world planet with more males and fewer females. Not yet understanding this world, life hangs by a thread. Fortunately, handsome Wingedman descended from the sky. He was rescued just in time to avert disaster. Before she could offer to marry him in gratitude, she was harassed by a belatedly arriving muscular bear man. The young woman waited no longer. She fell into the arms of the handsome feather clansman, begging for affection. The wild star domain. The sleeping girl's eyelashes trembled slightly. A few seconds later, she slowly opened her clear, watery eyes. Her porcelain-like, rosy face was like a limited edition doll's, utterly still, yet exceptionally alluring. Where is this? The young girl moved her lips with difficulty, but she found her mind a complete blank. It seemed she had no memories at all, including her name and her past. She couldn't recall any of it. Just then, her eyes fell upon a system panel. It seemed to display her personal information. Onuo stared blankly at the panel before her. Her expression appeared somewhat adorably cute. Another ding sounded. Host soul verification and comparison in progress. Data 100% correct. Successfully bound to the host. Suddenly, a mechanical system voice sounded in Nuonu's mind. Then, a light flickered before her eyes. It transformed into a plump, round sphere shaped like an orange. It obediently landed in the palm of Nuonu's hand. Little Orange was round and plump, soft and squishy. Its two eyes blinked repeatedly. A tender green little leaf was on top of its head. It bounced up and down in the girl's palm. Clearly, its texture was very bouncy. So cute. Nuonuo raised her palm. Holding Little Orange in her hand, she brought it before her eyes to observe. The girl's delicate, soft face met the super cute Little Orange, forming an extremely heartwarming scene. Hello, host Nuonuo. This is my physical form. You can call me Little Cheng from now on. It has been detected that your memories are blank. So here's a friendly reminder for you. You need to find high-quality males in this current world. Have babies with them to awaken new talents and strengthen yourself. When your strength reaches the threshold value initially set by the system, your memories and former identity will automatically be restored, and you can return to your previous life. Onuo quietly listened to the system's words. Perhaps it was due to her inherent nature. Even without any memories, facing such an unfamiliar environment, she didn't feel any panic. All right, Zhao Cheng. I agree. At that moment, Onuo found herself in a desolate wilderness. The low growls of many wild beasts echoed around her, and they seemed to be getting closer, growing clearer and clearer, as if they were moving toward her. This place seems very dangerous. Let's get away from here. Don't worry, host. Just wait a little longer. Someone will come to pick you up soon. Those are the wild beasts of the desolate New Jade. They lack intelligence, driven only by primal desires. They are very dangerous. After hearing the system's words, Onuo nodded. After more than 10 minutes, the roars of the beasts grew closer, as if they were right at her heels. Nuonuo instinctively looked in a certain direction. Sure enough, several dozen meters away, several monsters, several meters long, were running toward her. Those monsters had pitch-black bodies, extremely terrifying. Drool dripped from the roots of their fangs, emitting a thick, foul stench. Nuonuo didn't hesitate. She turned and ran. But the wild beasts that had detected their prey had long since locked onto the girl's figure, quickly chasing in this direction, sensing the beast right behind her. A few drops of cold sweat seeped from Nuonu's temples. Zhao Chengzi also materialized, hopping and bouncing on the girl's shoulder, clearly very anxious, too. But just as it hesitated whether to activate the initially set emergency program, it noticed several beams of intense light shooting toward them. Various types of spacecraft were quickly gathering in this direction. Among them, the nearest few had clearly switched to attack mode. The spacecraft's attacks were extremely precise. Several of the savage beasts were directly shot and injured, subsequently slowing their pace. Only the one closest behind Nuonuo, after being injured, let out a roar toward the sky. As if provoked to anger, it extended its thick, heavy claw and fiercely swiped down toward the girl's head ahead. At this critical moment, a silver streak of light quickly flashed out from one of the spacecraft. In the blink of an eye, it arrived near the girl. It was a young man dressed in a suit. Giant silver wings unfolded from his back, magnificent and dazzling. Each feather seemed to be condensed from silver moonlight, glistening with a fairy tale-like, dreamy radiance. "Don't be afraid." Two soft words sounded by Nuonu's ear. Those beautiful silver wings enveloped the girl, blocking the fatal strike from the savage beast behind her. Then, the young man in the suit smiled gently and raised his left hand. A wind blade erupted from the black ring on his finger. It mercilessly severed the lifelines of those savage beasts. Several of the savage beasts fell to the ground directly. The crisis was resolved. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief. However, the other males inside the distant spacecraft couldn't help but curse under their breaths. "This Theo is really too much." Not far away, Nuo, enveloped in silver, came to a halt. Her rosy lips parted slightly, as if astonished by the beautiful silver feathers within her sight. She extended a fingertip and gently touched them. The texture was cool but Nuonuo didn't notice. The youth standing behind her, his smile growing increasingly pronounced. The strands of silver hair at his temples stirred lightly in the wind. His gaze was exceedingly gentle. "Do you like them?" As the youth's voice sounded, Nuonuo subconsciously withdrew her fingertip. Seeing the young girl's reaction, Theo slowly bent down. He spoke softly by the girl's ear. "It's all right. If you like them, you can touch them a while longer. I don't mind." His voice seemed to possess a mysterious power, capable of soothing the unsettled emotions from the recent crisis. Nuo looked up and met the youth's gaze, instantly falling into his pale, ice-colored eyes. His eyes exuded nobility and elegance, yet concealed unfathomable depths within. Combined with the ruthless skill he displayed earlier in killing the savage beasts, it was quite evident this young man is not as simple as he seems. "Thank you for saving me." "It's my honor." Theo smiled and twisted the black feather ring. Then, a light flashed on his back. Those gorgeous silver wings vanished. Not far away, a large number of starships were docking one after another. Inside one of the S-class starships, Janna stepped out. But when she saw her master next to the young girl, she shook her head helplessly. Although saving someone is kind, her master's recent action seemed to have provoked public outrage. Just how many factions and families have gathered here? This female has truly driven the entire star system crazy. This all started with the recent Federation-wide broadcast. Across the federated star domains, countless intelligent light screens appeared out of thin air in the void above. The light screens shifted from illusion to reality, forming a unified image. Seeing this, everyone stopped what they were doing and looked up at the light screen in the void. Everyone knew that for the virtual Star Kingdom's intelligent monitoring system to be activated, something extremely important must have happened. Even in the reception room of the S-class starship, the CEO of Virtual Star Kingdom was quietly watching the information on the screen. Theo Castile, CEO of Virtual Star Kingdom, holds a pivotal position across the entire federal star system. After all, Virtual Star Kingdom is the technological holy land of the entire star system. Control the virtual world. Gaming, entertainment, live streaming, media, auction, trading, and multiple other fields. It is also a symbol of the Federation's wealth. Except for that mysterious supreme ruler, all operations under the Virtual Star Kingdom's influence are almost entirely controlled by him. But this virtual system, this time, It directly bypassed Theo, without prioritizing a report. Hopefully, it's some eagerly anticipated good news. The young man was seen leaning on the sofa, his demeanor lazy, yet noble. He wore an extremely simple black suit. Only the left chest bore the White Wing Clan emblem. A pair of silver-rimmed glasses rested on his tall nose bridge. His silver hair casually fell over his forehead, revealing that flawless, exquisite face. A new screen appeared above after a few seconds. Attention all Federation citizens. An unfamiliar female presence has been detected, appearing in the inner reaches of the barbaric star domain. Interstellar coordinates are 244,379. After multiple detections and verifications, it has been conclusively confirmed. This unfamiliar female's fertility is at the golden level. Her psychic ability is at SSS plus level. Her beast god affinity is near perfection. With each announcement from the virtual system, countless Federation citizens were utterly shocked. If the first two were just legendary, then the last one, beast, god, affinity, near perfection, that is just monstrous. What does this represent? It means this female is compatible with all top-tier bloodlines, including the various royal beast clans. She can achieve the most perfect inheritance of royal beast bloodlines. She is simply a living treasure. On the giant screen, in the desolate area of the barbaric star domain, a delicate young girl's body lay there. Her ivory skin was fair and tender. Her long, seaweed-like hair was slightly wavy, casually scattered on the ground. Her cherry blossom pink lips complemented her delicate, beautiful face. So radiant it was hard to look directly at her. Theo put down the wine glass in his hand. His expression turned somewhat grave. The gentle elegance he usually radiated gradually faded, replaced by a powerful and dangerous aura. It was an imperious, royal beast demeanor that brooked no argument. Jana, activate the interstellar dark passage. Order the ship to proceed at 10 times the speed of light and head to the barbaric star domain. Coordinates 244,379. Theo lightly touched his glasses frame. His voice was laced with sarcasm. If I don't go, those guys aren't worthy of taking her away. Yes, Master. Jana immediately acknowledged the order, because he knew the importance of this matter to his master. The interstellar dark passage can only be activated 5 times a year, but this time it is absolutely worth it. At the same time, the same command was issued within numerous major forces across various star domains. The royal families of the 4 great empires, the Beast God Temple, the Interstellar Academy, Legion Base. Countless starships surged forth from various realms and headed towards the distant, untamed star sector. Only when starships of various models had all appeared in the untamed star sector did the scene of Theo saving the beauty moments ago unfold. Watching the winged man envelop the young girl, Duke Louis furrowed his brows. Having transformed into a half-beast state, he looked at his own large bear claws and muttered with some disdain, "What can I do? What option do I have? If I had grown wings, I would have flown over long ago. How could that brat Theo have beaten me to it?" However, he did not lose heart. He quickly disembarked from the starship and hurried over. "Theo, stay away from her. She is supposed to return to the Carlo Empire with me." Theo stood quietly beside the young girl, adjusting his bowtie with one hand. His voice was gentle, yet carried a hint of pressure. "Since you all want to take her away, why haven't the people behind you come in person?" The young man's words were forceful and impactful, causing the noisy surroundings to quiet down for a couple of seconds. Onuo glanced towards Theo. Although they had just met, she always felt that by the young man's side, there was a profound sense of steadiness and security. "Theo, you are asking a question you already know the answer to," Louis said with a frown. "Everyone knows you're virtual. Xinguo is the technological hub of the entire Federation. capable of effortlessly activating interstellar dark channels for starship acceleration. Our Carlo Empire's crown prince. He is currently a guest of the Aqua clan in the vast sea star domain, and simply cannot arrive in a short amount of time. Even so, His Highness sent me here, which shows he holds this young lady in high regard. After all, he is a duke of the Carlo Empire. Theo smiled. The curve of his lips was elegant, and starlight shimmered in the depths of his eyes. He lowered his head close to Nuonuo and said, speaking slowly, "You heard it all. These empires and families have poor conditions and outdated equipment. Why not come with me?" "All right?" Nuonu's heart fluttered slightly. She looked into the youth's eyes. Whenever he spoke to her, he was always so gentle, without the ruthlessness he showed his enemies, nor the indifference he showed other males. "No, I can't agree. Beautiful young lady, don't listen to his nonsense. Our Oronti Empire is very powerful. Moreover, the royal family hasn't had a new descendant born in a long time. You must come back with us. We will give you the best treatment." "No need. Thank you. Just now, it was Mr. Theo who risked himself to save me. It's only right that I go with him." Nuo refused directly, without any hesitation. Her soft voice made the hearts of the males present flutter. Their gazes towards Nuonuo grew even more fervent. Louis grew anxious. "No, oh no. Lovely young lady. I was just covering for you earlier. My spaceship's attack ray energy is completely depleted. It's just that Theo here has wings." He was being sneaky and cutting corners. When Theo got the girl's agreement to go with him, he instantly raised his hand and grabbed Nuonu's wrist, gently pulling her behind him. Then his gaze turned cold as he said, "How dare you even bring that up? A B-grade attack ray that can't directly kill a savage beast. You have the nerve to use it? If it can't kill with one strike, it will lead to endless trouble." At this moment, the young man was genuinely showing anger, recalling the dangerous scene from earlier. If he weren't from the Feather Clan, if he didn't major in wind element, excelling in speed, then the consequences would be unthinkable. "Do you think everyone is as loaded as you from the virtual Star Kingdom? Fully charging a B-grade ray for one spaceship costs hundreds of thousands of star credits." Theo didn't reply to the other person anymore, but instead turned to the girl and said with a smile, "See, not only are his conditions poor, his equipment is outdated, but he's also broke." All the males fell into collective silence. They were itching to gang up on him, to beat this young man up good. But they were no match for Theo Castile, the only 9th-tier male present. Nuo, however, was amused by his humor, gently covering her mouth with one hand, her smile as bright as a delicate flower. Seeing this scene, the other males were almost going crazy with frustration. Duke Louis's mind was racing. Suddenly, he remembered the suggestion his assistant had given him earlier. Seduction. He could try to seduce this beautiful female. A flash of confidence crossed Duke Louis's eyes. Then, under Nuonu's astonished gaze, he reached out with his large hand and publicly unfastened the tight button of his outer garment. The collar of his shirt parted slightly. Faintly visible was his lower abdomen, where powerful abdominal muscles were tensed and prominent. Combined with his handsome and upright posture, the first impression he gave was of being tall, burly, and powerful. It was a wildness unique to male beasts. One could even imagine that beneath that shirt lay a special view capable of making one's nose bleed. "Beautiful miss, I, Louis Carlo, sincerely invite you on behalf of the Empire. Within our Carlo Empire, there are numerous high-quality males for you to choose from, especially from our Imperial Royal Beast, the Diamond Bear Clan. We possess ample strength to protect our females." As he spoke, Louis puffed out his well-developed chest. Then he glanced at the elegant, exquisitely handsome young man ahead. In his view, Theo, being from the avian tribe, even if he possessed royal beast lineage, his appearance was thin and weak, as if a strong gust of wind could blow him over. As a male beast, one must be strong and robust. Only then can one attract females. Excuse me, sir? If I'm not mistaken, I already rejected you just now. Nuonu's gentle smile carried a sense of distance. Clearly, her mind was already made up. It wasn't something that could be changed with just a few words. No, you should think it over again. Duke Louis, whose pride was wounded, looked displeased. He could hear the quiet mockery of the other males around him. In his panic, he reached out with his thick, heavy hand to grab Nuonuo. Theo's expression instantly turned cold. Louis, it seems the people of your Carlo Empire really have no manners. The silver-haired boy's eyes were icy, as if he was suppressing a storm within. The black boundary on his finger released a surge of dark energy. It directly weakened Louis's physical strength by 60%. Louis felt the weakness in his body. He staggered back a few steps. Then he rushed towards the boy and shouted, "Dark affinity, talent. You are too despicable." Louis was so angry he was about to stomp his feet, especially as he looked at the calm and composed boy in front of him. He couldn't win in a fight, and he couldn't snatch the person away either. No longer paying attention to the farce before him, Nuonu's lips were slightly flushed red. She felt as if a golden ocean in her mind wanted to devour her. Her consciousness grew increasingly blurry. Even her fair skin gradually took on a layer of pink, appearing utterly yielding and pliant, enough to stir a wild, frantic impulse in any male who saw her. In just a few short seconds, Nuonu's body grew weaker and softer. Suddenly, her body tilted. She could no longer stand, and collapsed into the arms of the boy beside her. On the woman's first day after transmigrating to the Beast World planet, she encountered bandits who wanted to rob her of her virtue, not her wealth. Facing contention from multiple parties, the woman decisively chose the most handsome one. But she never expected that right after picking the handsome guy, she would be affected by an aphrodisiac. The woman fell weakly into the handsome guy's arms, muttering that she wanted to get close, to have his babies. "Please, I'm begging you. Take me away." The young woman's voice was hoarse, seeming to carry an intoxicating allure. "Theo, take me away. Okay?" These words sounded like a plea for help, but also like a seduction. And all of Theo's reason seemed to shatter into pieces in that instant. He turned around without hesitation and walked toward the spaceship parked not far away, leaving the other males behind, staring at each other in confusion. On the large bed in the high-class inner cabin bedroom of the S-class spaceship, Nuo was gently laid down, feeling the soft plush blanket beneath her. She leaned back, extended her pink, lotus root-like arms, and directly hooked them around the young man's neck, pulling his body down. And in that instant, Theo's eyes were filled with shock, because he discovered that the immense psychic energy within the girl seemed capable of suppressing him. It seemed he could no longer resist. As far as he knew, psychic energy turmoil only occurred in males. What was the reason for the intense psychic fluctuations in the girl? "Theo, aren't you going to hide?" The girl tilted her delicate face, her eyes dazed, her crow-black eyelashes, thick and dense, her seaweed-like long hair cascading over her arms, and said coyly, "If you don't resist, I'll take it as your agreement." Resist? Was he even capable of resisting? Of course. Nothing is absolute. There was one way to escape the confinement of the girl's psychic energy. That was for him to reveal his full beast form. With his 9th-tier strength, he would emit the pressure of a royal beast, which the frail girl before him simply couldn't withstand. But if he used this method, the girl in his arms would surely be hurt by him. You could even lose your life. "I won't resist, but you have to take responsibility for me." The silver strands of hair falling over the youth's forehead took on a glossy sheen. His jade-like fingers gently undid the buttons, He shed the stiff, plain black suit. He wrapped his arm around her slender waist. His Adam's apple bobbed slightly, pulling her delicate body tighter against his own. He reiterated in a hoarse voice, "Remember, you have to be responsible for Theo Castile." Nuonu's face was flushed, a peach blossom pink. A soft moan escaped her lips. Though her figure was delicate, her movements were exceptionally uninhibited and free. Because it seemed only in this way could the golden flame inside her body burn and be released. Only then could she be reborn from it. Time slowly sank away within the starry sky. In the outer cabin, Secretary Jana was pacing anxiously. The simulation of the view outside the S-class spacecraft had already reached 100%, but he was in no mood to appreciate the beautiful starry scene at all. Too long. It had been far too long. Click. The inner cabin door suddenly slid open, making Jana jolt to attention. He looked over and saw the silver-haired youth wearing a loose bathrobe, stepping out. The contours of his torso were strikingly alluring in a forbidding way, and appeared immensely solid and powerful. Beneath that superior physique lurked an intensely potent, primal masculine aura. "Master, you just..." With that female, the words that followed, Jana did not voice, but his flustered expression already held 80% certainty in his heart. "Master has already formed a partnership with that female." Theo did not answer directly. Instead, he calmly walked to the sofa, poured a glass of red wine himself, leaned back slightly, and took a sip. His languid posture was as usual. "Jana, I couldn't refuse her." "You're being foolish." Jana's face was full of helplessness. "That female of unknown origin is just too important. One could say everyone is coveting her." Because of this, his master was directly placed in the spotlight. "I'm afraid this will make the other factions see red with envy." The entire Star Federation is divided into 4 great empires and 3 major factions, and the virtual Star Kingdom ranks first. The most important reason is the virtual world controlled by the virtual Star Kingdom, also known as the Second Star Realm. When consciousness enters the virtual world, one can participate in any activity separate from the real world, such as gaming, socializing, enjoying fine food, trading, attending meetings, including school classes, practicing talents, skill battles, and so on. One could say, with the virtual Star Kingdom, the Beastkins essentially possess a second life. Because of this alone, not a single faction or family within the Federation would truly dare to make an enemy of him. As for the other 2 factions, they are the Beast God Sanctuary and the Interstellar Academy. Beast God Sanctuary, this is the ultimate institution for those pursuing strength. It is also responsible for maintaining the order of the Federation, ensuring the safety of females within the Federation. It commands 3 major legions and 9 law enforcement teams. It controls the interstellar prisons, monitors the savage beasts, as well as mutated beastmen who have completely lost control mentally and fallen into a state of slaughter. Interstellar Academy, its faculty is extremely powerful. In fact, many powerful individuals from the virtual Star Kingdom and the Beast God Sanctuary serve as instructors at the Academy. They are responsible for teaching young beastmen about awakening their talents, utilizing them, and cultivating their skills. Although these 3 major factions remain neutral and do not side with any of the 4 great empires, they share an inseparable connection with one another and engage in numerous collaborations. For example, most of the students at the Interstellar Academy and the Legion members of the Beast God Sanctuary originate from the imperial clans. This also ensures that the 4 great empires keep each other in check. This means the entire Interstellar Federation is essentially a community of shared interests. However, Theo seemed to suddenly think of something. Fortunately, she is safe now, and her mental energy has recovered. Perhaps Nuonu's appearance will disrupt the current structure of the entire Federation. Amidst the warmth of moments ago, he learned her name. He would forever engrave this name in his heart. After all, she had promised that she would take responsibility for him. At this moment, in the high-class bedroom of the inner cabin, Nuonu's eyelashes fluttered slightly. She gently opened her eyes and found herself lying in a luxurious bathroom, clad in a pure white bathrobe. The sound of running water was murmuring beside her. Just then, the familiar system voice sounded again. Host, your mental power has been temporarily soothed. It will not overflow in the short term. Congratulations on successfully conceiving a baby. The baby's bloodline is that of a pure-blooded royal beast of the feather tribe. Your pregnancy will last no longer than 3 months. The girl's hand subconsciously rested on her lower abdomen. Her clear eyes were pure and alluring. She seemed to be able to feel a little life slowly growing there. So that means, after I give birth to the baby, my strength will be enhanced, and I will gain new talents, right? Yes. You are currently in the interstellar Beastman world. There are many domains here, with numerous factions spread throughout. So, host Zhao Cheng kindly reminds you, before your baby is born, and before your physique and strength are enhanced, you must protect yourself. I understand. Luo got up and put on her dress. Then, holding Zhao Cheng in her palm, she walked out of the bathroom, but discovered that it was closely connected to the bathroom was a large walk-in closet. The intelligent servant followed closely behind and explained to Nuonuo, respected Miss Female, all these were prepared for you by the master. If you do not like the dress you are wearing now, you may choose from here. Theo. Nuo repeated the name. Just now, she was almost completely consumed by the mental energy within her. It was that young man who kissed her lips and pulled her out from that burning golden flames. Yes. Miss Female, you will register with my master to become mates, right? Nuo smiled politely, but did not answer directly. Mates? She was not yet familiar with this world. One could say she was currently a blank sheet of paper. She didn't even know who she was, let alone understand this world's rules and details. She urgently needed to fill in the blanks on this paper, just as the system said. Protect herself and the baby in her womb. Improve her strength and talent as soon as possible. Strengthen herself. Recovering her memories and identity was the most important. As for becoming mates with a male beastman, she wasn't opposed to it in her heart. But what just happened, she felt was more like a transaction. Theo saved her and also helped her complete the mission, and she would also continue the rare bloodline for Theo's clan. But regarding that young man, she hasn't truly achieved self-understanding yet. So, finding a partner, she's in no hurry. The bedroom door was opened from the outside. Nuo looked over. The young man had taken off his suit and changed into a long, dark blue coat. It made him appear even more elegant and noble. Theo walked towards Nuo with a smile, bent down and offered her a cup of fruit nectar, emitting a light fragrance. Is there anywhere you still feel unwell? Nuo shook her head. A faint blush flashed across both her cheeks. She took the fruit nectar and took a small sip. The fruit flavor was rich and slightly sweet. It tasted very good. Theo, where are we going? To the Central Star Domain, Silver Dragon Star. That's where the Virtual Star Kingdom headquarters is. You need to undergo a systematic scan, and we'll also implant a safety chip for you. Safety chip? Seeing her confusion, Theo sat down beside her and patiently explained, every female in the Federation is implanted with a safety chip. It's a guarantee for their safety. Don't worry, the safety chip only monitors the body's health condition and screens for surrounding danger signals. It won't intrude on personal privacy. Because females have relatively weaker physiques, unlike males who are born with combat talents, and the proportion of females with combat ability is extremely small. Therefore, the safety of females has become a key issue within the Federation. Once the safety chip is implanted, every female will receive exclusive guardianship from the Federation. When in danger, information can be immediately reported to the law enforcement team of the Beast God Temple, thereby ensuring the safety of females. But how did you find me back then? It's different. We found you through the intelligent monitoring system of the virtual Star Kingdom. But this system is uncontrollable. Only when an event with sufficient impact occurs will it broadcast across the entire domain. The purpose is to draw the Federation's attention. It does not take responsibility for female safety. Onuo nodded lightly. She understood, meaning her initial appearance triggered the intelligence system's broadcast. It won't happen next time. Doubt resolved. The girl's eyes shifted slightly. Her cheeks puffed out a little. She looked toward the person beside her with a smile. Her voice, soft and sweet. Theo. What did you just call me? You know my name, right? Nuo. I didn't investigate you. It was back then. You told me yourself. As he spoke, Theo glanced toward the soft, large bed nearby. The girl's slightly flushed cheeks showed two shallow dimples. I believe you, Theo. But why are you so good to me? Nuonu's gaze at the young man held a bit more sincerity. Could it be because she has some special value? She is well aware of her own constitution. It holds a great attraction to the male beastmen of this world. If it were just about each taking what they need, then it wouldn't be worth giving her true heart. My situation is different from other males. My ties to my original family are weak. I don't have those needs and considerations they have. Back in the wild star sector, you chose me. That is enough. But Onuo, don't forget, the premise for my previous lack of resistance was your promise to take responsibility for me. I promised. Nuonu's fair little face instantly turned bright red. She froze for half a second. Seeing Nuonu's adorable appearance, Theo gently tapped the tip of her nose with his finger. He wasn't the least bit angry that the young girl had forgotten. From their conversation just now, he could sense that. While Nuonuo appears gentle and submissive on the outside, the door to her inner heart is actually shut very tight. He could wait. Being too hasty would scare her. No matter what, she promised she would take responsibility for him. Sooner or later, he would make Nuonuo truly willing to take responsibility for him. Nuonuo, do you want to see the virtual world? There are many amazing things there. Seeing Nuo nod, the young men gently took Nuonu's hand. Their consciousnesses instantly detached. It was as if they had entered a specific space. And by the time Nuonuo reacted again, stunned by the scene before my eyes, Nuonuo gazed at the sight before her. She realized she had arrived on a planet. Above, a silver, dazzling nebula resembled the form of a coiling dragon. And it was flowing rhythmically. It looked like a man-made landscape. At the very center stood an entirely white, floating star tower. Its spire vanished into the silver nebula. It was too tall to see the top. Around the star tower was a vast, immense body of water. Affected by light and shadow technology, the water's surface shimmered with brilliantly colorful hues. In between were numerous islands. Unclear if they were viewing platforms or residences. The material the islands were built from seemed like transparent alloy. Around them grew many interstellar plants, exuding a strong sense of technological mystery. When Nuonuo first woke up, she was only in the desolate star sector. After that, she was inside the spaceship. Now, she was truly shocked by the spectacular scene before her eyes. This is Silver Dragon Star. It is our virtual headquarters. It has a 100% overlap with reality. Theo, was Virtual Star Kingdom founded by you? The young man looked at Nuonu's dazed little expression. He chuckled softly and shook his head. No. I only act as the executor. responsible for all operations of Virtual Star Kingdom and the management of daily affairs. The real founder is Teacher Yaz. He is a senior I deeply respect. Later, I'll take you to pay a visit to him. Good. Nuonuo nodded with a smile. In her heart, she was both curious and respectful towards this teacher. Yaz. This senior must be a truly remarkable existence. Just then, Nuonuo could sense the boy beside her suddenly change expression. His gentle face was tinged with the touch of aloofness. Not far away, two virtual projections appeared. They slowly solidified into two figures. Both of those individuals were male, dressed in suits and leather shoes. Their appearance suggested they were from noble backgrounds. Moreover, they were heading straight towards Theo and herself. Young Master Theo. No, it's Executive, sir. Hello. Your father, Mr. Nick, and the clan head miss you dearly. You must return to the family recently. There are important matters to discuss. After saying this, one of the males looked towards Nuonuo behind Theo. Their objective was clearly here. No time. Get lost. Theo held Nuonu's hand. He gently pulled her behind him, blocking the two males' line of sight. The boy's eyelids lowered slightly. His lip color was very pale. His seemingly gentle contours concealed a cold sharpness. Upon detecting the other's gaze, his deep pupils seemed to transform into black holes, as if to devour the two ill-intentioned males before him. But, young Master Theo, behind you. I said get lost. Can't you hear? The two males before him broke out in a cold sweat. He instinctively stepped back several paces. He hurriedly explained, Executive Officer Guan, sir, please don't misunderstand. It really was the clan leader and Mr. Nick who sent us. You must return to the clan when you have time in the coming days. Of course. It would be even better if you could bring this young lady along. Before he could finish speaking, two sharp wind blades instantly sliced toward them. In an instant, the two males vanished from the spot. Their consciousness shattered. They were directly ejected from the virtual world on the spot. After the two disappeared, Theo gradually withdrew his cold aura. He turned around and took Nuonu's hands in his. His demeanor softened again. I'm sorry, but I don't blame you. Theo. Did I cause trouble for you? Don't overthink it. Those guys aren't even worthy of being my trouble. Your relationship with your family seems quite distant. Did something happen? The young man fell silent for a few seconds. His mind involuntarily conjured a certain memory. Then he spoke calmly, as if telling the girl a story. The Castile family, where I come from, values bloodline inheritance above all. Many years ago, my mother was a female from a fallen noble family. At that time, the protection mechanisms for females were not yet well established. My father often confined her, mistreated her. When she gave birth to me, my mother was frail. She had long been deprived of proper nourishment. She nearly suffered a difficult childbirth. As is well known, races with stronger bloodline power have greater difficulty in reproduction. Not long after, my mother struggled to give birth to me. My father frantically forced her, wanting her to continue bearing offspring. In the end, my mother's body couldn't handle it, and she was forced to flee with me. But on the journey of escape, she fell ill and passed away. By a twist of fate, Teacher Yaz discovered me and brought me back to the virtual star kingdom. A female delinquent transmigrated to a beast world planet, holding a handsome avian man in her left arm and a bear idol in her right arm. She even turned and left after taking advantage of them. To keep the woman by his side, the handsome man persistently dragged her into the virtual star kingdom. He also told Nuonuo about his tragic childhood, eliciting waves of heartache from Nuonuo. She never expected that this young man by her side, powerful and glamorous on the outside, could have such a troubled early life. Did your family not come looking for you later? Since the Castile family values bloodline inheritance so much, How could they leave a descendant outside for so many years? Judging by how humble those two males were earlier, they were clearly restraining themselves. They wouldn't dare. My virtual star kingdom holds the top position in the entire Federation. Teacher Yaz is the only one in the Federation who has reached the 10th tier in strength. If they dared to come, they would be seeking death. They aren't that foolish. Tier 10. There really exists a Tier 10 powerhouse. Nuonuo suppressed the shock in her heart. But at this moment, she really wanted to immediately meet this legendary teacher, Yaz. Theo held the young girl's hand and led her to the automated passage. The passage led directly to the central platform of the Star Tower. Secretary Jana was already waiting there. But right now, Jana's complexion didn't look too good. Master. Jana seemed to hesitate to speak. She glanced at Nuo beside the young man. The words that followed remained unspoken. Nuo, I'll take you to see the data room for the chip implantation first. Theo gave Jana a look, signaling that they would talk about the matter later, because it was quite obvious that the matter concerned Nuo. He didn't want Nuo to hear it and start overthinking, feeling unsettled. By the way, Jana, from this moment on, strictly monitor any member of the Castile family. Prohibit their virtual consciousnesses from appearing within the headquarters perimeter. Hearing this, Jana was stunned for a moment. But she immediately straightened up and nodded. Yes. I'll get it done right away. After giving the order, Theo took Nuo into the Star Tower. He ignored the smart beings on both sides, who were bowing respectfully, personally led the young girl to an intelligent data room. Clearly, he was extremely familiar with the route here. Nuo stood on a white circular platform, as indicated by Theo. She observed the surroundings. Faint data streams of light seemed to flicker in the air. It looks so dreamy. Is this the place where the safety chip is implanted? Yes. However, this is the virtual headquarters. Although it's a 100% simulation of the real world, we are still just consciousness here. To implant the safety chip, we must wait until we physically arrive at Silver Dragon Star. So, you can get a feel for it in advance. The girl let out a light laugh, raising her hand and waving it in the air. She could feel her fingertips passing through the data membrane. The experience felt incredibly real. You mentioned before that the virtual Star Kingdom was founded by your father. Was this safety chip also invented by him? Hearing the question, Theo remained silent for a few seconds. Seeing Nuo continuously casting inquiring glances, he finally replied, I invented it. What happened to my mother? The scarcity of females leads some families to resort to extreme measures to continue their lineage. Therefore, the protection mechanisms for females within the Federation urgently need improvement. This safety chip not only protects females during their travels, but also serves as a warning to the males in the Federation. When the safety chip was first introduced, the Beast God Temple enforcement team would receive hundreds of rescue requests daily. But as legislation for female protection within the Federation progressed, and real-life sanction cases emerged, in recent years, many male clan members have finally settled down. They began using superior treatment to attract females, instead of employing the extreme coercive methods from before. Nowadays, the higher the fertility and psychic power levels a female possesses, the more sought after she becomes. This proves that these restraints are effective. However, he now has sufficient power and status to perfect the female protection system within the Federation. But his mother will never return. My original reason for going to the barren star sector to find you was that I believed those guys. None of them were worthy of taking you away. The youth's gaze was filled with seriousness. Those empire families who flocked after you were only interested in Nuonu's physical traits. What right did they have to take her away? Hearing this, a warm feeling flowed through the girl's heart. So Theo was afraid she would end up with the same fate as his mother, thinking about him creating the safety chip and leading the effort to perfect the laws protecting females. Was it because he had been through the rain himself that he now wanted to hold an umbrella for others? Nuonuo looked up and met his gaze. Her pale skin was as translucent as snow. Simultaneously, she reached out a hand and gently caressed the youth's face. The starlight within the tower enveloped them both. The scene seemed frozen in time until someone returned to the entrance of the Star Tower. The secretary Jana walked in. After seeing this scene, she tactfully turned around and left. Nuonuo sensed someone's arrival. She immediately tried to pull her hand back, but Theo grasped the young lady's attempting to flee hand. Then he slightly bent down and placed a light kiss on the back of the young lady's hand. Nuonuo, I'll take you to the virtual manor on the island. I'll come back to pick you up later. All right? Theo said, holding the young lady's waist. After seeing Nuonuo nod, that pair of beautiful silver wings appeared on his back again. He flew with her towards the island. 10 minutes later, Theo returned. Jana, upon seeing the young master's figure, immediately rushed forward anxiously, no longer able to control her emotions. Master, do you know the entire star system is in chaos? The matter of you taking Miss Nuonuo away. The entire Federation knows about it. Everyone is talking about you. Other places are still manageable, but the Beast God Sanctuary has made a proposal, saying they will convene a Federation collective meeting in 5 days. A virtual meeting? No, it's a real meeting, Secretary Jana replied solemnly. She was also shocked and puzzled inside. The Federation doesn't hold collective meetings often, but most of them are conducted in the virtual world. After all, the star system is vast and immense. Gathering all the faction leaders at once isn't easy. How? They are thinking of ganging up to beat me up in real life. Master, this subordinate believes those people are not so insane as to go that far. Others wouldn't. What about Zarin? Hearing that name, Jana's body tensed up. Her expression turned grave, even somewhat nervous. Clearly, the owner of this name is definitely not someone to be trifled with. The temple master of the Beast God Temple. Zarin. That is a complete and utter madman. If we're talking about the entire Federation, the one most likely to make a drastic move, it is absolutely Zarin. That immensely powerful nine-tailed illusion fox. Most importantly, Zarin's innate talent is the light element, which restrains my master's element. This is precisely why the master brought up Zarin. The Federation conference was initiated by him. Based on my understanding of him, he does not make meaningless moves. A flash of deep thought also passed through Theo's eyes. Somehow, he suddenly felt a bit uneasy. Of course, it's not that he's truly worried Zarin will pick a fight with him, but rather, he is worried about Nuonuo. As for the reason, he can't quite explain it for now. Then, Master, can't we just decline? Theo shook his head. The 3 major powers, the 4 great empires, each have a limited number of conference initiation rights per year, and the other participants have no right to refuse. That is to say, he must attend this meeting. Theo thought for a moment. He stood up and walked out, because in reality, he was still aboard the spaceship in transit. If he wanted to reach the Federation Center, it would take at least 4.5 days. That is to say, he probably wouldn't be able to personally escort Nuonuo to the real headquarters, Void Island, in the most beautiful manner. The young girl sat by the garden railing, holding a watering can. Her pale blue dress gently swayed in the breeze. She gazed at the flower buds about to bloom before her. Her eyes were misty with emotion. Her lips were tinged with an enticing blush. Even though she knew it was a virtual world, Nuonuo still enjoyed the sense of reality. The gentle breeze here, the floral scents, the water features, were all tangible and reachable. She was already looking forward to coming here. In reality, She wanted to carefully tend to these flowers and plants, and furnish this manor according to her own preferred style, decorating it into a beautiful and cozy home. Theo stood at the manor's entrance, looking at the young girl's figure not far away. The smile on his face softened. The scene he had just witnessed was like a painting, every stroke etched deeply onto his heart. "You're back." Nuonuo put down the watering can in her hand. Holding up her skirt, she trotted over to the young man. It seemed their interaction now was much more familiar than when they first met. Theo took the young girl's hand. The two walked together to the observation deck at the end of the garden. Looking at the surrounding waters, he said with a laugh, "Nuonuo, do you like it here?" "Of course." "Then, once we arrive at the headquarters in reality, I will redesignate this area as your private residence. You can live here permanently. How about that?" Normally speaking, the virtual Star Kingdom headquarters is a supremely desirable entity. Private residences are absolutely not permitted. But since Nuonuo likes it, he could make an exception. Nuonuo acknowledged with a sound. Then, she inadvertently placed her hand on her lower abdomen. Since she was carrying Theo's baby, she couldn't afford to take risks traveling around. This place could offer her safety. For at least the next 3 months, she could safely give birth to the baby. When should she tell Theo? Thinking of this, the young girl's lips parted slightly, but the words on the tip of her tongue were held back. She thought about how, in one day, she would arrive at the headquarters, in reality, when the safety chip is implanted, and her information is registered. A scan will definitely be performed. Naturally, it couldn't be hidden then. There was no need to rush to say it now. There was one more thing. "Sorry, Nuonuo. I can't accompany you there. I must rush to the Federal Center for an important meeting. But I've already instructed Janet to escort you for the entire journey. Once you arrive at the headquarters, you'll live here. Wait for me to return." Nuonuo seemed to hear self-blame in the other's tone. She smiled and reached out her hand. Gently ruffled the boy's wind-blown silver hair. It seemed a bit playful, and also seemed to soothe the other's emotions. "It's nothing. No need to apologize. I'll be right here waiting for you to return. Well, you must remember. Before I return, just stay here peacefully. Don't go anywhere else." The uneasiness in Theo's heart was unfounded. Logically, the Federation Center was very far from here. He also wouldn't bring Nuonuo along. Yet he still felt unsettled. "Don't worry, I will." Hearing the girl's promise, Theo felt a bit more at ease. Then, both their consciousnesses exited the virtual world together and returned to the spacecraft. Only after watching that spacecraft sail off in another direction did Nuonuo finally withdraw her gaze. She hadn't known Theo for very long, but ever since she woke up, only Theo had been by her side. Now that Theo was temporarily leaving, she felt somewhat unaccustomed to it. Moreover, regarding the important meeting Theo mentioned, she faintly felt it probably related to her. After Theo left, Jana stepped forward and handed Nuonuo a device. "Halo, wear this on your hand. Your consciousness can freely enter and exit the virtual world." Nuonuo took it and put it on her wrist. Instantly, she could feel her consciousness connect with the virtual space. "A star map appears in my mind. It can guide her to the places she wants to go and the things she wants to do." "Jana, can you also shop in the virtual world?" "Of course, you can. Miss, if you wear clothes when you go to the virtual mall and want to place an order, then leave your real address. After the Star Kingdom system reviews it, it will automatically deduct the money from your ID account. The actual items you purchase will also be delivered to your real address by a dedicated person," the master said. "You can buy whatever you want, without any hesitation. The amount of money in this account is absolutely impossible for you to exhaust." Secretary Jana smiled with confidence. "Just kidding. The operation of the entire virtual world is under the Master's control. The virtual Star Kingdom is not just the Federation's technological holy land. It is also a symbol of the Federation's wealth. Thank you, Jana. Nuonuo walked into the inner cabin and came to the previous bedroom, curious about the virtual world. She lightly tapped the halo with her fingertip. The guiding star map in her mind turned into a smart screen and appeared before her eyes. She looked at the small text introduction below. The so-called virtual star network is actually a social platform. Many imperial citizens from various star domains will post on the Star Network platform, sharing their lives and daily activities. You can also search for things you want to know. Nuonuo continued to click. But the moment she entered, seeing that page full of entries, she froze. Truly worthy of the executive, he ultimately overpowered all rivals and won the beauty's heart. Those wanting to see the little female's photos, enter directly. 360-degree, flawless super benefits. Nuo saw that the entire page was filled with entries related to her. Especially that last one, which made an involuntary feeling of disgust rise within her. No one likes their photos to be casually posted on public platforms for others to view, right? Her finger clicked on the last entry, her heart already prepared for her past photos to be spread everywhere. But when she clicked in and looked, she discovered all the images posted in the thread had now turned a hazy gray, completely unviewable. And not only were the photos non-existent, even the accounts that posted them showed blank statuses. Clicking into their home pages, they were actually permanently banned. Nuonu's mind involuntarily conjured the image of that young man. Aside from his orders, who else could it be? She just hadn't expected such a small detail to be something Theo would consider so thoroughly for her. But looking at the comments below, there were hundreds of thousands, clearly all expressing dissatisfaction with the deleted images, especially after the pictures were deleted. Many people were in the comments section speculating and discussing her appearance. As Nuonuo scrolled further down reading the comments, her brows unconsciously furrowed, and they furrowed deeper and deeper. After browsing the comments section for a full half hour, perhaps Nuonu's mood was affected. She raised her hand and tapped open the input area beside it, quickly typing a sentence. Her looks aren't anything special either. A nose, 2 eyes. Extremely ordinary. However, just as Nuonu's fingertip touched the send button, her body suddenly stiffened, as if she realized something. She looked at the account name in front of the text. ID, Theo Castiel v Virtual Star Kingdom Official Verification. The entire air seemed to fall silent. Even the comment section, which had been bustling and frequently sending messages just moments before, fell completely silent in that instant. Oh no. It seemed she had messed up. Nuo, having realized what happened, hurriedly tapped on that sentence with her finger, wanting to delete it quickly. But it was her first time operating this, so she clearly wasn't very proficient yet. As her finger swiped down trying to select delete, in her panic, she accidentally tapped the pin option beside it. And as it happened, her account ID actually had the highest authority to pin posts across the entire StarNet platform. Within just a few seconds, the entire StarNet platform completely exploded. At this moment, even Jana, the secretary stationed outside the cabin, he also stared in shock at Theshadard's Star Network platform, rubbing his disbelieving eyes. Only one thought comes to mind. Executive officer's reputation is about to be harmed. Seeing that damn girl in the book eating so well, I just want to go in and act in a couple of episodes. Unexpectedly, accidentally crossed over to the Beast World planet, immediately pulling the handsome Euclidsman to take photos and have babies. She actually became rich overnight because of her son's success. Inherited billions in assets from the idol, just as the entire internet was heatedly discussing what the girl looked like. Speaking the truth with an officially certified angel ID. One nose, two eyes. For a moment, the internet exploded. Everyone knew. Just moments ago, Zhang Nuo finally, in a flustered rush, managed to safely delete the comment she had accidentally pinned not long ago. Although this piece of information was only online for 1 minute, it sparked endless discussion among countless people. However, Zhang Nuo was unaware. At this moment, Zhang Nuo looked at Theo, who had left and returned, finding it unbelievable. But the system in her mind urgently warned that the person before her was not Theo. Snapping back to reality, Zhang Nuo finally saw the person clearly. The man was wearing a burgundy tailcoat, his skin unnaturally pale, almost sickly, with a pair of captivating peach blossom eyes, alluring and mysterious. There is a faint teardrop mole under the left eye, yet his gaze holds the glint of a beast on the hunt, making one dare not look him directly in the eye. Beautiful, enchanting, but also radiating danger and terror. Who exactly are you? Why are you impersonating Theo? How did you suddenly appear here? The man did not answer. Zhang Nuo, seemingly still savoring the young girl's panic and unease, he stepped closer, pace by pace, his footsteps neither hurried nor slow, as if intentionally cornering the little rabbit like Zhang Nuo against the wall. Zhang Nuo's back pressed tightly against the wall surface, wondering why Jana, outside the cabin door, showed no reaction. The man seemed to catch Zhang Nuo's gaze. The smile at the corner of his mouth slowly froze. His voice was mocking. Little thing, you can't escape. The girl's delicate body was pulled into the man's embrace, yet the action was exceptionally rough and harsh. Her slender neck was nestled in the crook of his arm. The man pinched the girl's refined jaw with 2 fingers. The force was deep and intense. Zhang Nuo struggled in pain, but it was utterly useless. Instead, it further piqued the man's interest. He tucked aside the stray hairs from the girl's face. His lips drew near to her ear, like a brazen invader. Poor little thing. I'm truly curious. How could a near-perfect affinity with the beast god manifest in something as weak and filthy as you? Just at this moment, the hatch suddenly opened. Jana rushed in a panic. But when he saw the mysterious man, his face was full of disbelief, clearly recognizing the other's identity. Jana took a deep breath, stepped forward 2 steps, and said sternly, Lord Zarin, the Federation conference is about to begin. Instead of rushing to the Federation Center to attend the meeting, you intercept our virtual Star Kingdom spacecraft midway, and even kidnap Miss Zhang Nuo. This probably already violates the Federation's laws, right? Zhang Nuo's heart shook upon hearing this. So this terrifying man is the Beast God Temple's Lord Zarin. She had learned a bit about it when flipping through books before. Zarin was sent to the Beast God Temple for adoption since birth. She is the one with the highest Beast God affinity within the entire Star Federation. It has already reached 92%. Of course, this so-called highest is under the premise of not including her. It is said that those with higher Beast God affinity are more capable of opening a channel to connect with the Beast God, convey the Beast God's will, and become the Beast God's envoy. Before she appeared, Zarin considered himself the person closest to the Beast God. But now, she has been tested to have nearly perfect Beast God affinity. So Zarin is rejecting her. Zarin's smile carried a hint of seduction. Perhaps it was the innate trait of the fox tribe. Those beautiful peach blossom eyes could easily make one lose themselves if they weren't careful. He released Zhang Nuo's chin, but that hand slowly drifted downward, finally coming to rest on Zhang Nuo's lower abdomen. Zhang Nuo's body trembled. Her baby. What is this madman trying to do? What's wrong? Getting scared. Little one. In my light illusion realm, you are completely naked. Did you think I wouldn't know about the filthy seeds you're hiding here? Lord Zarin, I think you've misunderstood. Back when I was in the desolate star region, my spiritual energy became unstable, and I needed soothing to survive. Theo was the one who saved me. The baby was just an accident. I wasn't hiding or deceiving anyone. As soon as these words were spoken, Zarin's brow twitched slightly. The hand placed on the girl's lower abdomen had not been withdrawn, but he did not make any inappropriate moves. Jana, who was listening nearby, was stunned. Miss Jong Nuo, are you saying that you are already carrying our master's child in your womb? Jong Nuo nodded at Jana. She originally wanted to personally tell Theo this good news, but didn't expect a madman to show up halfway. If she kept hiding it, now, she was afraid it would only anger Zarin further. It was better to just go along with what he said. Zarin's hand shifted slightly, wrapping around Jong Nuo's waist and pulling forcefully, brutally locking her against his side. He could now more closely feel the girl's warmth, fragrance, and softness. This action, however, seemed deliberately meant to provoke Jana. They all say this temple master acts without restraint, but I actually do follow rules. First, I will not miss the Federation Assembly. Second, aiding females is the very founding purpose of our Beast God Temple. It seems to have little to do with your virtual Star Kingdom. This temple master is merely fulfilling his duty. Therefore, this little thing is coming with me. A blinding light appeared. Jong Nuo instantly lost consciousness, her body going limp in his embrace. Zarin immediately transformed into a stream of light, splitting into two parts. One part was used to attract the attacks from the light barrier, but the other one quietly disappeared into the inner cabin. Jana was both shocked and furious, because the other party likely used a light element innate skill, light and shadow clone. He finally understood why Zarin said he wouldn't miss the Federation meeting, because the other party had a clone. However, the Beast Temple Master has taken Miss Jong Nuo away. This matter is probably troublesome. Saying Miss Jong Nuo was taken to the Beast God's sacred temple. That place is Zarin's main base. Even if Master goes there, it would be very difficult to get her back. It's just like Zarin. Even relying on his own superior strength, he wouldn't dare to snatch someone from the virtual Star Kingdom headquarters either. He only dares to intercept them on the road. Whether it's the Empire or the other major powers, the defense mechanisms of their main bases are absolutely terrifying. He must find a way to inform Master. When Jong Nuo woke up, she saw the man holding a pair of golden, shiny handcuffs, demanding she hand over the smart bracelet Theo gave her. Although Jong Nuo was frightened inside, her delicate, pretty little face was filled with stubbornness. Seeing her not moving, Zarin rudely grabbed Jong Nuo's wrist, not caring if he was hurting her, and yanked the bracelet off. Then he placed the golden, shiny handcuffs on the girl's smooth, pale hand. Please give it back to me. Jong Nuo bit her lip tightly. At this moment, her gaze towards the man held a little less fear, and a bit more disgust, perhaps because she was angry. The young girl's pupils were exceptionally clear, like jade washed by water. Zarin looked at the charmingly pouty anger of the girl before him. His hand instinctively wanted to touch Jong Nuo's cheek, but the girl dodged to the side. His hand was left awkwardly suspended in midair. His pupils slightly contracted. He stood up. Using his slender, pale fingers, he gently rubbed his temples. The scene held a kind of beauty that was morbid to the extreme. Little one, let me give you a piece of advice. Since the Beast God has chosen you, nothing about you belongs to you anymore. Your willful actions make me think you are filthy. Don't let it happen again. I belong only to myself. Jong Nuo's voice was very soft, even though she knew she shouldn't contradict this madman. When he said that nothing about her belonged to herself, perhaps it was her innate nature that made her instinctively refute him. It seems you really are in need of training. So disobedient. How can you become a qualified beast god emissary? Have you heard of our beast god temple's Legion dungeon? It imprisons countless criminals who have violated Federation law, as well as beastkin, whose psychic power has completely run wild, and who have lost their minds. Would you like to go see it? Zhang Nuo ignored Zaren's words, gazing at the golden statue in Thievery Center at the top of the Great Hall. The sculpture depicted a female form, yet it bore no facial features. The entire sculpture was enveloped in a golden radiance, making it appear exceptionally noble and sacred. For some unknown reason, she felt that the statue seemed somewhat familiar, as if her soul and the aura emitted by the statue were in harmony. Could it be that this was due to her high affinity with the beast god? Temple, Master, since you are the messenger of the beast god's will, the protector of the Federation's females, yet you risk disrupting the Federation's order by taking me away, and treat a weak female like me in such a manner. Could it be said that you have already violated the beast god's will? It seems you are not quite fit to be the beast god's messenger, one might say. These two passages are more direct to Zaren than before. Every word she says is lethal. Zaren's eyes turned crimson with rage. Powerful palms directly grasped onto Zhang Nuo's soft and slender neck. The girl is having difficulty breathing. Yet inwardly, he was sneering. It turns out this man cares so much about the beast god. But in her eyes, what beast god? It's nothing but an illusory existence. To think she could control Amen like this to such an extent. Watching Zhang Nuo on the verge of suffocation, Zaren's continuously forceful palm came to a stop. Because the girl carried an aura that resonated with the beast god. It always made him soften up a bit at the critical moment. Afterwards, he ordered people to lift the paralyzed Zhang Nuo to his feet. Locked deep in the dungeon, Zhang Nuo woke up in a prison cell. Although it's a prison cell, but the four white walls are very clean. The interior has also been cleaned by professionals. A blanket is spread in the corner. She's curled up there like a little kitten. She looked at vesicles on her hands. Her previous condition was not this weak. But ever since I met Zaren, mood swings are too intense. The most important thing is, she feels the pair of glasses makes her look like a pervert. Handcuffs will suppress her spiritual power. A very uncomfortable feeling. But at any moment, she could overflow from within. My mental energy seems to have stabilized a bit more. It's very strange. Through the consultation system, Zhang Nuo learned that these handcuffs contained a hidden, under a powerful binding force. It can guarantee her during pregnancy, spirit energy will not overflow and cause chaos, nor will it ever again be in the state it was in when it was in the desolate star domain. Zhang Nuo thought about it and unconsciously, the gentle figure of that young boy emerged. The person who once took meticulous care of her. Theo, knowing she was taken away. Click. At this moment, the lock opens. Phil, dressed in military uniform, walked in from outside. It was only when he got sight of that. The girl curled up in the corner, pupils constrict, with a grave expression. The girl before him was the dangerous criminal Zaren said would be delivered to him. A petite figure, weak. And she's pregnant with a child. A completely powerless female. What kind of federal joke is this? Phil thinks Zaren is a complete lunatic, using the coercive method against males, to treat such a delicate female in this way. What kind of straight-wit approach is this again? But right now, prison cell. Handcuffs. The girl who turned pale from affectation. The fragmented visuals are absolutely stunning. Phil quickly had the accompanying doctor perform a full-body checkup on Zhang Nuo. Fortunately, Zhang Nuo's body doesn't have any major issues. Just because of emotional instability. After becoming pregnant, she lacked progress again. Still wearing mental handcuffs. That's why she felt uncomfortable. Zhang Nuo looked up at the man in front of him. calmly calculating Jwardi how to rely on the person before me escaping the current situation. She cannot completarily on Theo to save her. You must seize a very opportunity to save yourself. Sir? Are you here to save me? Miss Jong Nuo. My name is Phil. He is a general of the 1st Legion under the Beast God's Holy Majesty. May I ask you a question? Where do you come from? Which star domain does it belong to? Empire. Identity information may be on record. Apology. I can't remember clearly. I woke up in Theta Solit star sector. Lord Theo Castiel of the Virtual Star Kingdom saved me. I am on a spaceship, forcibly brought by Lord Zarin. General. Is there anathingals to review? Judge. That word Matafil's heart twinge. Yes. His attitude was like Hua's interrogating someone. In the past, those who were captured and brought to the Legion, imprisoned interstellar felon, only then would they be subject to multiple interrogations. He quickly reassured Jiangnuo that he was merely asking, no offense, but I remember. The Hallmaster mentioned it before. Lock me up in Theti Pest Dungeon. To the darkest place. But this place, not bad. It's not cold either. A blanket was also prepared for me. I know you did this for me. The girl stretched out her arm, gently tugged at Phil's sleeve. Her strength is very limited. It seems like it will depend with just a light flick. Koful let the girl hold on like that, without any intention of refusing. Mr. Fei, you've already saved me once. Can you save me one more time? I feel very unwell. Really? Help me. The young girl pursed her lips. Her pale little face looked as if she might lose consciousness at any moment. This soft calling again and again. Ling Fire could no longer hold on. After hesitating for 2 seconds, he quickly unlocked Zhang Nuo's handcuffs. Zhang Nuo scooped her up into his arms. The girl's body is soft and light. It makes him unable to resist wanting to protect her carefully. He suddenly felt a strong urge to take care of her. Zhang Nuo's head rested against Fei's broad chest. Lips devoid of color moved slightly, like a release of emotions. It also seemed like a triumphant smile. Fei carried Zhang Nuo directly back to her room. His room is very clean, very neat. It's just a house that's purely for living in. Only some simple daily necessities were placed. Nothing else. He gently placed Zhang Nuo on the bed. Then he ordered Somi and Ado call for a doctor. By the way, prepare some mealsan supplements for pregnancy. Inside the room, Zhang Nuo watched as Fire personally pushed the food cart toward him. A tall and burly figure pushing a dainty little meal cart. The visual imagery carries a hint of adorableness. Miss Zhang Nuo, these 2 doctors will give you a physical checkup. Don't be afraid. You should eat something first. These are supplements to take during pregnancy. There are all kinds of flavors. Zhang Nuo ate at a leisurely pace, although she truly felt hungry in her stomach. But he still ate at a leisurely pace, and drank 2 supplements as well. After drinking that, her body felt much more comfortable. The 2 physicians beside them were expertly employing wood element techniques. I gave the young girl another nursing treatment. Next to Fei, sitting up straight, his eyes beneath the brim of his hat remained fixed, observing every move of the girl while she is dining. Not for a second did me eyes leave you. The big hands in the military coat scratched again. That movement ice like rubbing its paws. At this moment, a soldier stands at the door. He knocked lightly on the door. It shattered this tranquil scene. General, please go ahead with your business. I can do it myself. Thinking of my Dutius the Legion's general, Phil had no choice but to leave. An impatient expression was on his face as he listened to the soldier relay the temple's command. Whenever the Holy Temple is mentioned, Phil's eyes held restrained anger. Very good. He happened to have something to discuss with Zarin as well. That perverted guy. In the Beast God Sanctuary, diagonally below the golden beast deity statue, Zarin is sitting in his seat. He is wearing casual clothes. His crimson eyes were filled with a smile. The outer corners of Thee's curve slightly upward, accusing Phil of overstepping his authority, and indicate that Zhang Nuo is the intelligence of Virtual Star Kingdom. The female voice in the monitoring system broadcast, without family or relatives, no information found. Perhaps she doesn't even have a beast form at all. That is to say, her genes still exist in their primitive state, not yet evolved. And Fei ear used by Zhang Nuo. Fire was somewhat shocked in his heart, because he didn't expect it. That girl's background is actually so complicated. Female gangster live streaming across the entire internet.